guys, welcome to another fall video. Definitely one of my favorite things about fall is baking. I love baking pies and cookies and cakes and really anything fall related. I think it's super cozy. So today I'm going to show you guys how to make baked pumpkin spice donuts with maple glaze, which is actually more like a frosting, but they are so delicious. My whole family is originally from Vermont and we are obsessed with maple, and this is just the perfect combination. And they're baked, so they're kind of healthy for you, healthier than fried donuts, I guess. We'll just tell ourselves that. So I think you guys will really enjoy it. It's super simple to make, and I've made so many in the past few days and eaten so many, so I wanted to share it with you guys and hope you'll try it out. So let's get started. I'm starting off by making my maple glaze. So in a small saucepan over low heat, I just added a 1/4 cup of unsalted butter and 1/2 cup of pure maple syrup. You definitely want to use the pure syrup here because the other syrup they sell in the stores has a lot of additives to it and the flavor definitely is not as strong. So make sure you get that and then just whisk it until the butter is completely melted and remove it from the heat. Then I'm taking about a cup of powdered sugar and I'm just sifting it through my fine mesh strainer just to get out any lumps, because sometimes powdered sugar can be kind of lumpy, and I definitely made a little bit of a mess here, but that's okay. It's going to help me stir it all together in the long run. So then I just grabbed my whisk and started slowly incorporating my sugar into my syrup mixture, and you will see it sort of start to melt and dissolve, and it should take on a lighter color and it will end up being sort of a thick glaze like this. So go ahead and set that aside, and now it's time to get started on the dry ingredients for our donuts. So to a mixing bowl, I'm just adding 1 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour, 1/2 cup of light brown sugar that has been packed down, 1/2 teaspoon of iodized salt, and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. I'm also using some pumpkin pie spice. So this has cinnamon, nutmeg, cloves, and I really love the flavor of this. I usually eyeball it. I think I added about 1 1/2 teaspoons, but you can add more or less depending on your tastes. So then I just took my whisk and whisked this together to make sure that all of my dry ingredients were well blended. And now it's time to get started on the wet ingredients. So I'm going to be using 1/2 cup of milk. You can use any type of milk that you like, 2 1/2 tablespoons of melted butter, and then I'm also using a 1/4 cup of pumpkin puree. So you can use pumpkin pie puree or pumpkin puree. Mine is plain. The pumpkin pie puree has the spices already added in, but since mine is plain, that's why I added these spices beforehand. So you can just kind of adjust your recipe depending on what you pick up at the store. So now I'm just taking a small whisk and whisking together my wet ingredients and making sure that they're all well blended and that there are no little lumps from the pumpkin. Then I grabbed my dry ingredients and I started to slowly pour my wet ingredients into them. So normally this is where I would use my KitchenAid mixer to do the work, but because you don't want to overmix this, I'm just using my spatula and doing it by hand. So you want to slowly fold the ingredients together and then just keep pouring in your wet ingredients to the dry and slowly fold them and incorporate them. And this is going to be a thick dough. It's almost like a bread dough. So you just want to keep going until there are no more dry flakes in there and it gets pretty thick. And don't worry if it's sticky and thick, that's the way it's supposed to be. So it's going to look a little something like this. So this looks good, so I'm going to stop mixing it here and I'm going to grab my donut pan, which I got on Amazon for like $10. It was pretty cheap, and this is a non-stick pan, but I also like to add some cooking spray, and I also add some flour into the cups just to make sure that the donuts do not stick, because you definitely don't want that to happen. Now I'm adding my dough into a large Ziploc bag and just cutting off one of the corners, similar to if you made a frosting or something and you didn't have a piping bag. So then this part looks really gross, I know, but you're going to squeeze it right into the cups, and honestly this is the easiest, simplest way to get that donut shape. So although it doesn't look very appetizing, it's definitely the best way to do it. So then I'm just sticking this whole thing in the oven at 350 degrees for 10 to 12 minutes. You'll know they're ready when you lightly press on them and the dough just springs right back up. So you can let them cool. I honestly only let them cool for a little bit because I couldn't wait, and I just dipped them right into my glaze that I made earlier and sort of rolled it around. And oh my gosh, you guys, this is so good. Look at this drippy, amazing maple frosting. You can serve these warm. Everybody will love you for it, and they are the perfect dessert for autumn. Honestly, I know I say this every video and I truly mean it every video, but I really want you guys to try this one. I just can't explain how good these are. The flavors together are so delicious, and it takes like 20 minutes total to mix all the ingredients and bake them. I'm going to leave the recipe in the description box down below so you'll have all the measurements, so definitely check that out. But yeah, definitely try it out. Everyone will love you for bringing these donuts to any occasion that you go to this fall, or just make them for your family or yourself. Also, are you guys following me on Instagram? Because I know I mention it sometimes, but I never give it a true shout out. So my Instagram is just @KatieBookser, super simple, and I post there all the time. I love Instagram. Also add me on Snapchat, because obviously Snapchat is extremely fun, and I would love to have you add me on there as well. And I do little sneak peeks of my videos sometimes and things like that, and I'll let you know when I post a new video, so definitely go add me there. Again, it's just Katie Bookser. Give this video a big thumbs up if you guys liked it, and comment down below if you have any other fall video requests. I would love to do them. And of course, make sure that you are subscribed so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. And I'll see you next week. Bye guys!